Hello, seniors. This is the second task in the task for Naviance this year. The first one was goals, obviously, so everybody's done that now. The next thing we need to talk about is a resume. So this is your home page. When you log in, you land on this home page. We're going to go to, I'm going to show you a couple things. You can get to it in a couple of ways, actually, but we're going to start with My Planner, and then tasks assigned to me. And then here are all the things you're going to have to do before the end of the year. Remember this? We're going to do the resume, so you could click on the resume here, right? And you have a choice. You can upload a document, so if you already have a resume that you have done for another class or because you've been applying for jobs or whatever, then you can just upload the document there, right? The other way to do that is to go to About Me and click on a resume. And this is good for people who've never done a resume before, because what this will show you is all these categories of resume. So if you click on the little down arrow, these are all the sections that you could have in a resume. Now, not everybody is going to have all of these sections. Some of you may not have done any extracurricular activities, but I bet most of you have. Some of you may not have any leadership opportunities, but I bet most of you have if you think about it. And so we're just going to, let's start with objective. Start there. The good part about this resume builder in Naviance is that it's got tips for what you want to put in here, and then in the box here you write out the tip, or you write out the objective, right? So in this case, you use the tip to write the objective, and then when you click Add to Resume, it's going to build that particular resume for you. So let's say that we are going to do more along the lines of this kind of thing. Obtain a position in which I can learn more about business and finance, okay? So if that's my objective, I'm going to post that right in there. Now you can put your objective as to obtain a degree in veterinary medicine. You could put obtain a degree in auto mechanics and collision repair. You could put an objective is to obtain a position as a cashier at Target. Any kind of objective can go in here, right? Then you click Add to Resume. Okay, so then that sits in there, right? Then you go to this next part. Oop, I clicked too fast. And if you click Summary, and the summary section here is a good part, because the goal of the resume is to let people who don't know you get a kind of a taste of your personality and what it's like to be you. And so here are areas in which you can put down like the most important parts about you. That's if somebody's trying to meet you and get to know you and decide whether or not that they're going to accept you as part of their institution, the kinds of things that you want them to know about you, right? So maybe you're a hard worker, and you can put, I'm a hard worker, and here's an example. Or you can put, I've overcome these kind of obstacles in my life, that kind of thing, right? So that's what you do for the summary points. And then, of course, you hit Add to Resume. Then you go down to work experience, right? And so here's, if you've had work experience, here's where you put your position and your title, your organization, where you worked. Any kind of description in here could be, I worked at, let's say, Target, right? And I was responsible for these kinds of things, right? So that's nice to have. But, there's a lot of us out there that are just putting together a resume and do not have any work experience at all. And so if you don't have any work experience, you would skip that part and go to the education. And of course, for the education here, right, you're putting down the school and the grade levels and the start and end dates, right? So let's say we're putting, we want to put APS online. And we want to put, I don't know, maybe the Central High School location. Central High School campus, we'll say. And we'll put 12th grade. Or you could put senior year, whatever you want to put in here, right? The start date we'll say is, let's say, August of 13. And then our end date is going to be May 14. We can't quite do that yet. Let's just put the present, I guess, for now. And then in this section here, we click Add to Resume. Maybe. There we go. And we're just going to keep doing that for all the parts that apply to us. Right? But I want you to think about something when you're doing this. I want you to think about what the person reading it is going to think about you. You have to kind of sell yourself in a resume, and so it's important that when you're talking about your academic skills that you write down the positive things about yourself. When you talk about your volunteer service, when you talk about extracurricular activities, when you talk about awards and certificates, think about what this person is going to think about you when he or she reads this document. You want them to think positive things. You want them to think, hey, I want to hire that person, or hey, I want to make sure that this person comes to my college. You know what I mean? That's the kind of reaction you want out of somebody. And in the end, you can also obviously edit anything that you want. You can delete things too. When you click on Customize Your Principal Resume, you can create a new format, and so you can put these in any kind of order that you want. So you can put education at the top. We're probably not going to want, we're going to want objective at the top, you know what I mean? But you could, once you have 6 or 7 categories, reorder them in any style that you want, and then you can save the style and name it anything you want. So you could create a couple of these. You can create one for the maybe jobs you want to apply for, and you can create another one for any colleges or post-secondary opportunities that you're applying for, right? So the more things you fill out in this section, the more options you're going to have when you want to customize it. You can move things around, you can include things, you can not include things. So one thing I wanted to say before that we wrap this up is that you want to have references. So you can include them. You can not include them. You can include references available upon request, but you want to have some people for the institution to call and ask about you. Since they don't know you, what they are looking for is somebody who has a nice resume, but also somebody who has people that will speak up for them and talk about how good of a person they are, right? About how hard of a worker they are, about how this person can overcome obstacles, about how this person perseveres through any sort of trials and tribulations, right? So that's the kind of thing that you want people to think about. You also want them to make sure that they have a well-rounded picture of you, right? So the more sections you include, the better off you're going to be. Okay? So your job now then is to go into Naviance and then to click on, you can either go to About Me, remember, and Resume, or you can upload one from my planner. If you've already done one of these, that's fantastic. You can always add to it and change it though too. So I like this resume builder for that reason, is that you can change things really easily because you just add another category or you add another section in the category. But if you have your own, you can obviously upload that too. And then when you're done, go to the iCap and then type in the Dropbox done, and then you're done. Yay! All right. When you have questions about how to do this, about what to put where, about references or any of those kinds of things, let me know. You can contact me. You can contact your mentor. Either one is going to have some good advice for you. All right, guys. So good luck building the resumes, and let me know when you have questions. Thanks.